Hello everyone, a very good evening. So let us continue our sheet discussion. We will be starting with question number 10th. So let us see what 10th question says. So 10th question, a tank initially contains 50 gallon of fresh water. Brine contains 2 pound per gallon of salt, flows into the tank at the rate of 2 gallons per minute, and the mixture kept uniform by stirring runs out at the same rate. How long will it take for the quantity of salt in the tank to increase from 40 to 80 pounds? So let us see what the question is telling. They are telling us a tank initially contains 50 gallons of fresh water. So a tank we have which is a volume of 50 gallons. Perfect. They are telling brine contains 2 pounds per gallon of salt. So we know brine contains 2 pounds per gallon of salt. This is what brine contains. And this flows into the tank at the rate of 2 gallons per minute, and the mixture is kept uniform by stirring, and the mixture runs out at even the same rate. How long will it take for the quantity of salt in the water to increase from 40 pounds to 80 pounds? So let us try and analyze the situation. The situation is something of this form, that we are having a tank which initially contains 50 gallons of fresh water. Perfect. The tank is having 50 gallons of fresh water. Now brine, which contains 2 pounds per gallon of salt, is flowing into the tank at the rate of 2 gallons per minute. So it is flowing at the rate of 2 gallons per minute. And what is the concentration? We know the concentration is 2 pounds per gallon of salt that is present in brine. Perfect. And now what they are telling is, and the mixture which is kept uniform by stirring is even, coming out at the same rate or runs out at the same rate. तो मैं कहूँ कि यहाँ पे 2 गैलन्स पर मिनट के रेट से ही वाटर इजेक्ट भी हो रहा है. 2 gallons per minute is the rate at which even water is ejecting. And here water is inflowing. So what is inflowing is brine, that is having a concentration of 2 pounds per gallon of salt, and what is outflowing is the water which is kept uniform here by stirring. Now we have to find the time it takes for the quantity of salt in the water to increase from 40 pounds to 80 pounds. So 40 pounds say 80 pounds the water it takes for the quantity of salt, not the concentration, quantity of salt to change from 40 to 80 pounds is from, we have to find that time. Perfect. क्वेश्चन सभी को क्लियर है कि क्वेश्चन में क्या डेटा दिया है और हमें क्या निकालना है. तो लेट अस ट्राई एंड एनालाइज द क्वेश्चन. तो वन थिंग इज वेरी क्लियर कि जिस रेट से वाटर इनसाइड फ्लो हो रहा है उसी रेट से वाटर इजेक्ट हो रहा है. तो एट एनी इंस्टेंट ऑफ टाइम मैं अगर इस टैंक को देखूं तो इसमें टोटल वॉल्यूम ऑफ वाटर कितना होना है? इट हैज टू बी 50 गैलन्स. सो द वॉल्यूम इज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू रिमेन कांस्टेंट इन दिस केस. वन थिंग वी आर श्योर ऑफ, देयर इज नो डाउट इन इट. नाउ we have to find the time in which this water content, this salt content increases from 40 pounds to 80 pounds. So let us do one thing. Let us say U is the amount of salt present in water at time t. So मैं कहती हूँ किसी भी एक टाइम t पे लेट अस से कि जो ये जो सोल्यूशन यहाँ पे बनेगा उसमें u pounds of salt present है. Perfect. So what would be the concentration? So what would be concentration of salt? Concentration of salt, let us say C would be equals to u upon 50. Amount of salt present in water divided by the total volume of water which is 50 gallons. So this is going to be the concentration of salt present would be pounds per gallon would be the unit. And what would be du by dt? Du by dt would be rate of change of salt. Perfect. Rate of change of salt in water is du by dt. Now let us find out what is the rate at which salt is changing in the solution. एक इंस्टेंस ऑफ टाइम dt में मुझे बताइए कि कितना पानी फ्लो होगा. लेट अस से dt टाइम में आई हैव dt मिनट्स और मुझे बताइए इसमें कितना सॉल्ट इनफ्लो होगा. वी नो dt मिनट्स में 1 मिनट में कितना पानी फ्लो हो, 1 मिनट में कितना अमाउंट ऑफ सॉल्ट अंदर आएगा. दैट वुड बी 2 gallons into 2 gallons of water and each gallon will contain 2 pounds of salt. So we will have 4 pounds of salt. This will come in 1 minute. So divided by dt, this is what is going to give me the amount of water salt which is incoming in 1 minute in dt time, and how much of salt will flow outside. How much of salt will flow outside would be depending on the concentration. So concentration we know is C, which is U upon 50 into 2 gallons of water is gonna flow divided by dt. So this is the water is going to, I'll say incoming salt concentration, outgoing salt, in some amount of time. So I can say du by dt, that is the rate at which salt concentration is changing, would be equals to incoming salt minus outgoing salt, which would be 4 is the incoming minus U upon 25 perfect. So this guy is going to be equals to du by dt. समझ में आ रहा है? देखिए एक बार फिर समझिए, हमने क्या कहा कि dt टाइम में कितना सॉल्ट कंसंट्रेशन अंदर आएगा. तो आई सॉ कि 1 मिनट में 4 पाउंड्स ऑफ वाटर आते हैं. सो dt टाइम में 4 अपॉन dt पाउंड्स ऑफ वाटर विल इनकम. और आउटगोइंग कितना होगा? सिंस द टाइम पीरियड इज वेरी स्मॉल, सो हम कह सकते हैं कि इतने टाइम पीरियड के लिए इस पूरे सॉल्ट का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन सेम रहेगा, विच वुड बी u अपॉन 50. Once again, dt is a very small period of time, so इतने में हम safely assume कर सकते हैं कि salt का concentration change नहीं होगा. इसीलिए मैं कह रही हूँ C into 2 because it would be 2 gallons of water flowing outside divided by dt. So I can say du by dt would be what? This would be equals to 4 minus u upon 25. So we have formed a differential equation here, which says my rate of change of water in time dt is rate of change of salt in the solution is with respect to time is equals to 4 minus u upon 25. Now we have formed a differential equation here, we can easily solve it. So let us say this would be equals to 100 minus u upon 25. This would be equals to du by u, or I can say du upon dt, sorry, or I can say du upon 100 minus u, this would be equals to dt upon 25. Perfect. When I integrate this, I get minus ln 100 minus u. This guy would be equals to 1 upon 25t plus some constant k. कोई भी डाउट यहाँ तक? So I have an equation ln 100 minus u plus 1/25t plus constant k would be equals to 0. अब इस k की वैल्यू पता करने के लिए we know at t equals to 0 u is equals to 0. जब t 0 होता है तो u is even equals to 0 because at t equals to 0 the salt is fresh water, so it is not having any concentration of salt. So we can put this condition in this equation. So I'll get ln 100 plus k would be equals to 0, and from here I can write k would be nothing but equals to minus ln 100. K is equals to minus ln 100. यहाँ से हमें k की वैल्यू मिल गई, हम इस इक्वेशन में पुट करके सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. Now we have to find the time in which the concentration of water changes from 40 pounds to 80 pounds. So what we have to do is we have to find T1 at which U is equals to 40 pounds, and we have to find T2 at which U is equals to 80 pounds, and then what we have to do, we have to find T2 minus T1. And this is the calculation part. I hope everyone can do it. बट ये डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन कैसे बनी और उसे सॉल्व कैसे किया, यहाँ तक सबको क्लियर है. यहाँ से तो आई थिंक एवरीवन कैन सॉल्व. वी नो दिस इज द डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन, वी नो द वैल्यू ऑफ k इज minus ln 100. नाउ वी हैव टू फाइंड T1 by putting u equals to 100 in this equation, and we have to find T2, u equals to 40 in that equation. We have to find T2 by putting u equals to 80 in the same equation, and then we have to find T2 by minus T1, that is the time in which the concentration of water, in which the amount of salt is going to increase from 40 pounds to 80 pounds in the solution. Question सभी को clear है? This is again a question based upon rate of change of quantities. अभी तक हमने जो भी questions करे थे वो usually proportionality पे based है. This is a different type of problem that we have encountered. So is everyone perfectly clear with this? कुछ भी doubt हो तो पूछ लीजिए. Just note this down. Then we'll just note this down. Then we will concentrate on question number 11, which I see is again a question based upon rate of change of quantity only. Just note this down first. Now let's solve 11th question. So 11th question says a hemispherical tank of radius 2 meter is initially full of water and has an outlet of 12 centimeters square cross sectional area at the bottom. The outlet is open at some instant. The flow through the outlet is according to the law V of t is equals to 0.6 under root 2gh, where V and h are respectively the velocity of flow and h is the height of water in the hemispherical tank, and g is the gravitational constant. We have to find the time it takes to empty the tank. So let us see what 11th question is telling. They say we have a hemispherical tank of water whose radius is 2 meter initially and is initially full of water. So there is a hemispherical tank of water that we have whose radius they have said is 2 meter. So let us say this is the radius which is 2 meters. Okay. Then they say this tank is initially full of water and has an outlet of 12 centimeter cross section area at the bottom. So let us say इसके bottom पे there is a outlet whose area is 12 centimeter square. The outlet is open at some instant. The flow through the outlet is according to the law V of t is equals to 0.6 under root 2g h of t. H is the height of water present in the hemispherical tank at any instant of time. V is the velocity of that instant of time, and g is the gravitational constant. We have to find the time it takes to empty the tank completely. So situation समझिए क्या है. Situation कुछ ऐसी है कि ये टैंक पहले पूरी तरीके से पानी से भरा हुआ था, ठीक है. So means initially height of the water in the tank was 2 meters, which is equals to the radius of this hemispherical tank. Perfect. फिर क्या हुआ, धीरे धीरे हमने यहाँ पे एक होल कर दिया जिसमें से जिसका क्रॉस सेक्शन एरिया था 12 सेंटीमीटर स्क्वायर और जिसमें से पानी के निकलने की वेलोसिटी थी 0.6 into √2g h of t, मतलब वेलोसिटी इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ द हाइट प्रेजेंट इन द वाटर. दिस इज व्हाट इज क्लियर. नाउ वी हैव टू फाइंड कि इस कंडीशंस के साथ इसमें पानी किस टाइम पर पूरी तरीके से खाली हो जाएगा, when this container would be completely empty. So let us do one thing. Let us take some instant of time t और कहते हैं कि इस इंस्टेंट पे इस टैंक में जो पानी की हाइट है वो है h. So let us take some instant of time at which the level of water in this tank is h. So I say this instant of time the radius would be, this length would be smaller. So just understand what would be at this instance of time. वो पानी किस तरीके से देखेगा, यहाँ पे कुछ इस तरीके का होगा और पानी ऐसे पूरा सर्कल होगा. तो उस इंस्टेंस ऑफ टाइम पे जो वाटर लेवल है वो एक r रेडियस का सर्कल फॉर्म कर रहा होगा. टॉप लेवल ऑफ वाटर वुड बी फॉर्मिंग अ रेडियस ऑफ लेट अस से स्मॉल r सर्कल एंड दिस इज हाइट. सो एंड वी नो व्हाट इज दिस, you know this is capital R or the radius of the sorry, this would be not this guy would be capital R, wrong, this guy would be capital R because this is the center of the hemisphere, not this. This guy is going to be capital R because this is the center of the sphere or the hemisphere and this is going to be the radius of the hemisphere. So now let us try to find some relation between this h, r and small r. So if this height is h, I can say this height would be r minus h because this complete length is nothing but capital R because this is a hemisphere. So by Pythagoras theorem, can I write capital R square, this guy would be equals to small r square plus capital R minus h whole square. Capital R square would be equals to small r square plus capital R minus h whole square. So I can write r square would be equals to r square plus capital R square plus h square minus 2 capital R into h. R square and R square would get cancelled, so I can write R square would be equals to 2 RH minus h square. This is what I can write from here. Perfect. Now let us say कि एक dt इंस्टेंट ऑफ टाइम में, एक बहुत छोटे से dt इंस्टेंट ऑफ टाइम में जो ये वाटर लेवल है ये चेंज हो गया dh लेवल से, ठीक है. सो आई से दिस इज माय dh. वंस अगेन सिचुएशन समझिए. h इंस्टेंट, एक इंस्टेंस ऑफ टाइम t पे ये वाटर लेवल जो था वो था h, ठीक है. फिर मैंने कहा एक छोटे से इंस्टेंस ऑफ टाइम dt में ये वाटर लेवल dh लेवल से और रिड्यूस हो गया और लेट अस से इस टाइम में जो वाटर फ्लो हुआ वो था dv. सो व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग इज इन dt टाइम dv amount of water flows from the container and water level reduces by small dh. Perfect. This is what we are telling. dt टाइम में जो वाटर लेवल था वो dh से रिड्यूस हो गया और उसमें dv अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर फ्लो हुआ। और आई से ये dt टाइम इतना छोटा था और ये dh भी इतना छोटा चेंज था कि रेडियस ऑलमोस्ट कांस्टेंट रहा। तो मैं कहती हूँ ये रेडियस होगा r minus dr, but this dr would be negligible, so I can say this r would almost remain same. So I can say what would be dv now? dv would be equals to, from here what would be dv? This would be equals to that is the cross section area into the water that will flow is 2gh into 0.6 into dt. See, length of water that will flow in dt time is 2 root 2gh into 0.6 into dt, and the cross section area of the hole is 12 centimeter square. So the total amount of water would be length of water that will flow into cross section, which is 12 into 0.6 root 2 gh into dt. So this is dv as quoted in the question. And what would be dv from here? Change in the volume यहाँ से देखिए तो what would be it would be pi small r square into dh. क्या होगा? Pi r square, that is going to be the cross section area, and the change in height would be dh. Once again, what I am telling is this dh is so small that r is going to be almost same. So I can say that this pi r square dh would be equals to again dv. ये दोनों इक्वेशंस कैसे लिखिए समझ में आया? Because this is the most crucial and the important part of the question. Let us understand it once again. So question में दिया था कि cross section area of the hole is 12 centimeter square and water is flowing at with this velocity. Okay, so I'll say in dt period of time, length of water that will flow is, we are saying that dt is so small that this change in height is negligible. So we can safely consider the velocity constant as 0.6 under root 2 gh. Okay, into dt. So 0.6 under root 2 gh into dt is the length of water that will flow. Okay, velocity into time, and then 12 is the cross section area. The total volume of water flowing would be this. Once again, seeing geometrically from here, I can say the change in the volume of water would be, it would be pi r square into dh. Considering the fact that dh is so small that r can be safely considered same. So I can write dv would be this. So this is the water that has flown out through the cross sectional area, and this is the change in the volume of water or drop in the volume of water in this container, and logically both has to same. The water that has flown out has to be same as equal to the volume of water that has changed in the container. So I can equate these two. So I can very safely equate pi r square dh would be equals to 7.2 under root 2gh into dt. Perfect. Is any doubt here? This would be equals to gh into dt. Now let us separate variables. This is an easy differential equation which can be solved by variable separable method. So I can write, okay, I can write pi r square dh upon root 2 gh. This would be equals to 7.2 into dt. Now we know what is r square. From this equation I know r square is nothing but 2rh minus h square. So I can write pi 2rh minus h square upon under root h into under root 2g dh. This would be equals to 7.2 dt, or I can write pi upon under root 2g into 2r h to the power 1 by 2 minus h to the power 3 by 2 into dh. This would be equals to 7.2 dt. Now I can safely and very easily integrate these two equations. So what will we get? We will get pi under root 2g 2r h to the power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2 minus h to the power 5 by 2 upon 5 by 2. This would be equals to 7.2 t plus k. And how we will find the value of this constant k? I know at t equals to 0, what was height? H was equals to r. So when I put t equals to 0 and h equals to r, so what I will get is the value of this integration constant k. And then what we have to find? We have to find the time in which this tanker, this container would be completely empty. So we have to find t for which h would be equals to 0. So this is the calculation part everyone went to solve. So is the question perfectly clear to everyone? Is there any doubt? The most important part of the question was to write down these two equations and then equate these two. I hope this was an easy question. I mean, not much of tricky part of it, and everyone could easily understand it. So is everyone perfectly clear with the solution? You can easily find the value of t and the constant k. That would be an easy job, I suppose. So is 11th question perfectly clear to everyone? Any doubt at all? No. So let us proceed to the 12th question now. Just note this question first and then we will proceed to 12th question. Can I erase this side of the blackboard? I hope everyone would have noted down this diagram. Okay.